promised I would never open this again. I promised. But I can't keep it quiet anymore.
Sarah Mitchell's fingers knew the velvet box by touch alone. She knew the soft corner that had worn down first. She knew the weak hinge that never closed cleanly. She had opened it for 25 years. She had closed it for 25 years. She had never let anyone see inside. Until tonight. Tonight, her hands would not obey. The velvet box sat on her nightstand, small, dark, quiet as a secret. Inside were 2 faded hospital bracelets, both dated March 3rd, 1999, both stamped 3:47 a.m. One bracelet was soft from touch. The other was still sealed in plastic, never opened, never worn, never held. Downstairs, her daughter Emma laughed. Emma turned 25 tonight. She had invited her best friend, Maya. They were opening wine. They were playing music. They were celebrating a life Sarah had once prayed to keep. They didn't know why Sarah always stepped out when a lullaby played. They didn't know why hospital scenes made her stomach turn. They didn't know why Sarah kept buying 2 birthday cakes every year. They didn't know why a second place setting appeared at holidays. They didn't know what Sarah kept in velvet. But tonight, Emma would ask the question Sarah had been dreading for 25 years, and the answer would crack the house open. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments. We love hearing from you. 25 years earlier, Sarah Mitchell was 25, the same age Emma was now. She remembered the weather first. Snow, blowing sideways across Boston. Her water broke 3 weeks early. Her husband, David, drove too fast through white streets. They barely made it. Boston General Hospital, room 4B. The contractions came hard, then harder, then constant. A nurse checked the monitor. Her face changed. Twins? The nurse said, almost surprised. Sarah already knew. 2 girls, 2 heartbeats, 2 futures. She had planned in her head. She had bought 2 cribs, 2 car seats, 2 sets of pink blankets. She had even picked the names, Emma and Lily. A doctor entered. Dr. Patricia Holloway. Young, sharp, too calm. Sarah noticed that calm first, like nothing could touch her. Emma came first. 3:47 a.m. A loud cry, a strong grip, a perfect, furious life. David laughed and cried at once. Sarah did too. Then the room changed. The monitor began to beep, fast. Then uneven. Then cruel. Lily's heartbeat dipped. A nurse called for help. More people rushed in. Sarah tried to sit up. A hand pushed her back down. She saw a blur of masks. She smelled metal and antiseptic. She heard someone say, "We're losing her." Sarah screamed Lily's name into the room. David squeezed her hand until it hurt. Dr. Holloway leaned in. Her voice stayed steady. "We need to operate," she said. "There may be a choice." Sarah blinked, confused. "What choice?" she cried. Dr. Holloway's eyes did not soften. "If we can only save one," she said. "Which one?" Sarah's world fell through the bed. She begged. She pleaded. She tried to say both. She would trade anything, everything. Dr. Holloway nodded once, like she was filing paperwork. Then the anesthesia came. Black. Silence. When Sarah woke, David was at the bedside. His face was swollen from crying. He tried to speak. Failed. He whispered, I'm so sorry, he said. Lily didn't make it. Sarah's scream filled the room, then the hallway, then her own skull. They did not let her see the body. Hospital policy, someone said. Too traumatic, someone said. Dr. Holloway returned with a flat expression. She handed Sarah a sealed hospital bracelet, plastic still tight around it. This is better, Dr. Holloway said. Closure matters. Sarah stared at the plastic and felt no closure at all, only absence. If you're enjoying this story, subscribe now. Grief didn't arrive like one wave. It arrived like fog, thick, daily, a quiet that sat on furniture and never lifted. David tried at first. He worked extra hours. He bought flowers. He avoided eye contact. He slept on the couch. Then he stopped trying. He left when Emma was 3, not in anger, in surrender. Sarah raised Emma alone. She learned how to fix toilets. She learned how to stretch rent. She learned how to smile on command. She learned how to be fine for a child. Emma grew up in a house where music came with rules. Songs stayed low. Lullabies ended early. Sarah would sing at bedtime. She always reached the same part. Then her throat would lock. Her voice would break. She would kiss Emma's forehead and turn off the light. Emma accepted it at 4, at 8, at 12. Children adapt to the shape of their parents' pain. But Emma was observant. Emma noticed her mother flinched at the word twins in a movie. Emma noticed there were 2 pink baby blankets in a storage bin. Emma noticed 2 birthday cakes every year. One on the table, one cut, then wrapped, then placed in the freezer, like a ritual, like a repayment. Emma also noticed something else. Maya. Maya arrived in Emma's life 3 years ago. They met at a bookstore in Cambridge. They reached for the same novel. Their hands touched. They laughed. They talked until the staff started stacking chairs. Maya had that kind of warmth, in the kind that made strangers tell her things. One night, in a quiet booth, Maya admitted she was adopted. She said her birth mother gave her up after delivery. In Boston, she added, like it didn't matter. Some hospital, I never looked, she said. Some doors should stay closed. Emma nodded. She didn't connect it. Why would she? But coincidence is patient, and secrets love birthdays. Tonight, Emma turned 25. Downstairs, the house smelled like candles and wine. Maya brought a cheap cake topper that said finally legal. Emma laughed so hard, she snorted. Sarah laughed too, from the doorway, but the sound didn't reach her eyes. Music played, a soft piano track. Sarah's hand tightened on the doorframe. Emma noticed. Mama, come sit. Emma called. Sarah tried. She took 3 steps. The melody shifted into a lullaby. 8 notes. Then the hook. Sarah's breath stopped. She left the room without a word. Emma watched her go. Maya watched Emma watch her. Upstairs, Sarah sat on the bed. Her chest ached. Her hands shook. She reached for the velvet box without thinking. Her thumb rubbed the soft bracelet, then the plastic sealed one. She heard footsteps on the stairs. She closed the box fast. Too fast. The hinge clicked. Emma appeared in the doorway. Mom, Emma said quietly. Sarah wiped her face. I'm fine, she said. Emma didn't move. It's my birthday, Emma said. Sarah nodded once. Emma's voice softened. Why do you look like someone died? Sarah flinched. Emma saw the velvet box. Her eyes locked onto it. What's in that? Emma asked. Sarah tried to answer. No sound came. Emma stepped in. She sat on the bed. She reached for the box. Sarah didn't stop her. She was exhausted. 25 years of holding her breath. Emma opened the velvet lid. She froze. 2 bracelets. 2 names. 2 timestamps. Emma read the labels slowly. Baby girl A. Sarah Mitchell. Baby girl B. Sarah Mitchell. Her hands began to shake. Mom, Emma whispered. Who is baby girl B? If you need to know what happens next, hit subscribe. Sarah closed her eyes. This was the moment she had rehearsed in nightmares. The moment she prayed would never arrive. She had a name, Sarah said. Her name was Lily. Emma's face went white. Sarah kept going, because stopping had ruined her life. She was your twin. Sarah said, you were born together. March 3rd, 3:47 a.m. You came first. Emma stared at the bracelets. Sarah's voice cracked. Then something went wrong. Sarah said. The monitors started screaming. They said Lily's heartbeat was dropping. Emma's lips parted. No sound came. Sarah swallowed hard. They told me they might only save one, she said. They made me choose. Emma's eyes filled. That's not real, Emma whispered. Sarah shook her head. I begged them, she said. I told them to take me instead. When I woke up, they told me she was gone. Emma looked at the plastic-sealed bracelet. Still sealed, still untouched, like Lily never existed. Why didn't you tell me? Emma asked. Sarah's face collapsed. I couldn't, she said. Every time I looked at you, I saw her. Every time I tried to sing, I heard silence. Emma leaned forward and held her mother. They cried together, quiet, ugly, relieved. Upstairs, 25 years, finally broke. Downstairs. Maya stood at the bottom of the stairs, frozen. She had heard everything. Boston, March, 1999. Twins. One died. Maya's heart pounded like it was trying to escape. Because Maya had one fact she never talked about, her own birth date. March 3rd, 1999. She had seen it on paperwork once. Her time of birth. 3:52 a.m. 5 minutes after 3:47. Maya's hands went cold. She pulled out her phone. She searched her email. 2 years ago, she had requested adoption records. She never opened them. She was too afraid of what she might find. Now she opened the file. Her vision blurred, then cleared. Boston General Hospital. Room 4B, Dr. Patricia Holloway. Maya's stomach dropped. She heard footsteps behind her. Emma came down slowly. Her face was puffy from crying. Maya, Emma asked. Maya looked up, and for the first time, she really looked at Emma, not as a friend, not as chosen family, as something else. The same nose, the same jawline, the same strange curve in the eyebrow. People had joked about it for years. You two could be sisters, strangers would say. They had always laughed. No one laughed now. Emma, Maya said. Her voice shook. I need to tell you something. Sarah appeared at the top of the stairs. Her eyes were red. She saw Maya's face. She saw the phone in Maya's hand, and she understood. Sarah's breath caught. It's not possible, Sarah whispered. But it was, and the proof was standing in her living room. Subscribe now. The truth is about to come out. The DNA test took 3 days. 3 days of silence. 3 days of waiting. Maya stayed at a hotel. She said she needed space, but it was fear. If she stayed in the house, she might become real. Emma barely slept. She sat on the couch with a blanket around her shoulders. She scrolled baby photos she never understood before. She stared at her own face. She imagined another baby beside it. But Sarah couldn't eat. She drank tea until her hands cramped. She watched the front door, like someone might knock with a past. On the fourth day, the results came. Sarah opened the email at the kitchen table. Emma stood behind her. Maya stood in the doorway. No one spoke. The words on the screen felt unreal. A match, a full sibling relationship, identical twins. Sarah's mouth opened. A sound came out. That wasn't grief. It was rage. It was relief. It was 25 years, collapsing at once. Emma turned toward Maya, her best friend, her twin, her other half. How? Emma whispered. Maya's eyes filled. I didn't know, she said. I swear I didn't know. Emma stepped closer. She didn't hug her yet. She didn't step away either. Sarah sat very still, because in her mind, one name rose like smoke. Dr. Patricia Holloway, the doctor who stayed calm, the doctor who refused the body, the doctor who called a sealed bracelet closure. Sarah didn't call first. She didn't wait for permission. She searched. She found a retirement record, a nursing home in Vermont. She drove through the night, alone. Emma wanted to come. Sarah said no. Maya wanted to come. Sarah couldn't look at her yet. The nursing home smelled like bleach and lotion. Morning light fell through dusty windows. Dr. Holloway sat by a window, in a wheelchair. She looked small, human, not the monster Sarah had carried for decades. Sarah hated that she felt a flicker of pity. Then she hated herself for the pity. Dr. Holloway, Sarah said. The old woman turned. Recognition flashed. Then fear. Mrs. Mitchell, Dr. Holloway whispered. You remember me? Sarah said. I remember everyone, the doctor replied. Sarah stepped closer. Why did you tell me my baby was dead? Sarah asked. Dr. Holloway's hands trembled. She looked away. I followed orders, she said. Sarah's voice sharpened. Whose orders? The hospital, Dr. Holloway said. The administration. She swallowed. They had a program. Sarah felt her stomach twist. A program for what? She demanded. Dr. Holloway's eyes filled with tears. Twins, she whispered, were valuable. Sarah went cold. Say it, Sarah said. Dr. Holloway's voice cracked. Desperate families paid, she admitted. The hospital made it disappear. Sarah's vision narrowed. You sold my child, Sarah said. Dr. Holloway flinched. I didn't sell anyone, she snapped. Then her shoulders sank. I signed papers, she said. I told myself they would have better lives. I told myself mothers would forget. I told myself it was mercy. Her eyes met Sarah's. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Sarah stood there, shaking. She wanted justice. She wanted to tear the room apart. But she saw something worse than a villain. She saw a person who had lived with a choice. A person who had buried guilt under paperwork. How many? Sarah asked. Dr. Holloway's mouth trembled. 47 pairs, she said, across 15 years. Sarah felt sick. So many mothers, Sarah whispered. So many ghosts. Dr. Holloway nodded, crying. The records? Sarah said. Where are they? The old woman pointed to a locked drawer. I kept copies, she said. I kept everything. Sarah's throat tightened. Why? She asked. Dr. Holloway's voice shook. Because I knew someone would come, she said. Someone who deserved the truth. Sarah opened the drawer. Stacks of files. Names, dates, places. Lives reduced to folders. On top was a handwritten letter, an apology, a confession, a plea. Sarah stared at it until her eyes burned. She looked at Dr. Holloway again. Not forgiveness, not peace. Just a grim understanding. You chose truth too late, Sarah said. Dr. Holloway nodded, sobbing. Sarah gathered the files. She walked out into morning light. Her hands were full of paper. Her heart was full of war. She had 46 families left to find. But first, she had to go home. Home to both daughters. The reunion was quiet. No cameras, no speeches. Just a living room. Sarah, Emma, and Maya. Maya stood near the window, arms wrapped around herself. I don't know what to call you, Maya said. Sarah didn't push. You don't have to call me anything, Sarah replied. I missed 25 years. I can't ask you to pretend that didn't happen. Maya's eyes filled. My adoptive parents were good, she said. They loved me. They gave me everything. Sarah nodded, swallowing pain. I'm grateful, Sarah said. I'm grateful someone held you when I couldn't. Emma sat between them on the couch. The bridge. The twin who had lived. The twin who had been lied to. What now? Emma asked. Sarah took a breath. Now we go slow, she said. Now we tell the truth, she added. Now we stop pretending. Silence is kindness. Maya's voice cracked. My name, she whispered. Sarah hesitated. Then she said it. The name I chose, Sarah said. Lilin. Maya covered her mouth. Emma reached for her hand. Maya let her. Sarah went to her bedroom. She returned with the velvet box. She set it on the coffee table. This was the third time it mattered. The third time it carried weight. Sarah lifted the sealed bracelet. Her fingers shook. She stared at the plastic for a long moment. Then she opened it. A small sound. A tiny snap. A choice. Finally reversed. Sarah held the bracelet out to Maya. To Lily. Lily's eyes overflowed. She held out her wrist. Sarah fastened it gently, like she was afraid the moment might break. Lily looked down. A name. A date. A proof. Not a ghost. A life. Emma began to cry again. Quietly, like grief leaving the body. Sarah exhaled. For the first time in 25 years, she felt air reach her lungs. 6 months later, Sarah stood in a community hall in Boston. A banner hung behind her. A foundation. A hotline. A promise. A promise. Families filled the chairs. Mothers. Fathers. Twins who had found each other late. People holding hands like lifelines. Sarah had used Dr. Holloway's files. One name at a time. One call at a time. One reunion at a time. Not all reunions were gentle. Some were rage. Some were grief. Some were too late. But they were real. Emma stood in the front row. Maya stood beside her. Their shoulders touched. Still learning. Still building. Sarah stepped to the microphone. Her voice was steady. 25 years ago, she began. I was told my baby died. I grieved a child who was alive. I lived inside a lie. The room listened. No one looked away. I can't give back the years, Sarah said. I can't undo what was done, but I can do this. I can tell the truth. I can reunite. Who can be reunited? I can refuse silence. Sarah looked at her daughters, both of them. She swallowed. Then she lifted a glass of water. Nothing fancy, nothing staged. Just a simple toast. To the families, she said. To the children who were taken. To the parents who were lied to. To the ones who survived long enough to learn the truth. And to the ones who didn't. The room raised their glasses. Some hands shook. Some hands were steady. All hands were real. And in the front row, Emma and Maya lifted theirs together. 2 lives, 1 beginning, a truth that hurt, a truth that healed. This story was inspired by real events. Names, locations, and certain details have been changed, and events have been dramatized for narrative purposes. How would you rate this story out of 10? Tell us in the comments. To support the channel, subscribe and turn on notifications.